Right, okay, we're going up to Scotland, right? We're going to be living in our van during winter. What tips would you give us?
Yes, we're heading off to Scotland for winter, so we need to make sure that we're going to be nice and warm and the van's going to be okay. So we've come up with a list of 10 things that we can share with everybody that we've done or doing.
Our biggest thing that we absolutely love, and we've seen a lot of people talking about them recently, is our diesel heater. Now, if you are going to put one in yourself, they aren't as difficult as you might think. You do have to drill a hole through your floor. That is probably the main thing to be able to actually fit the unit so that it can suck the air out. Then you have to fit a little exhaust. So we have a tiny little tail that comes out of the back of the van that pumps all the stuff out. It has been a godsend. They are so powerful and it heats our van up. Within a couple of minutes we are roasting. The battery has to be above at least 12.5, if not 13 volts. That is the only downside of it, is it does need that amount of power just to kick it on. It doesn't use much once it's on, it just needs it to be able to start the pump and everything, and then once it's away, it's away. Push the button in, and it'll click on, and then you'll hear the pump kick in and the fan will go. It does have up to 6 settings, so it goes from 1 to 6. Our actual fuel tank is in our wardrobe, which, to be honest with you, if you were going to fit it yourself, be cautious of where you're putting it for filling it, because you do have to fill it back up with its own diesel. You can also press 2 buttons on it. Now, I don't think a lot of people know this, but these 2 buttons turn it into Alpine mode. You do have to be cautious with Alpine mode because it does get a lot of salt in the system, so you have to flush it through now and again just to make sure that it stays clean. But it means that you can use your diesel heater for quite a bit longer and it doesn't use as much fuel. Have a look at one of those, because that will get you through winter without you being freezing cold. Let's talk bedroom. One of our big things for us is keeping warm on a night. Once the temperature drops and you're tucked up in your bed, it's making sure we can stay warm while we're in bed. So one of the big things that we did is we swapped our quilt over. I didn't know if you know this, but I didn't know this. You can actually get a 16.5 tog quilt. You can get them off Amazon. They aren't that badly priced compared to buying them on the high street. So we did improve and we bought ourselves a 16.5 tog quilt. It is lovely and warm. The other thing that we did as well is we bought a throw to go over the top. And this throw is a double throw, so it's got like nice silky on one side, but then it's furry on the other, which is just another extra layer that keeps us warm on the night. If you are planning on living in your van over winter and not really wanting to site up very much, and you have the finances to be able to afford one of these, because they are not cheap, but a power bank is a must for winter. This is going to change our lives. We've managed to survive about 2 weeks of charging laptops, phones, everything off this little beast. It has been absolutely brilliant. I think a lot of people forget that during winter, obviously I know we have less hours of sunlight anyway, but the sun doesn't actually go as high in the sky as it does during the summer. So if you're a bit like us and your solar panels are flat against the top of your roof, you don't get sun directly on your solar panels. So you are not going to get anywhere near the wattage in your solar panels as what you get during the summer. If you are on the market for buying a power bank, we do have a cheeky little discount code down below for All Powers. So have a check out, see if you can save yourself a bit of money with the discount code compared to other ones. Another big thing is when we're lounging around on the night when it starts to get a bit chilly, it's just making sure we keep ourselves warm. The other thing that we tend to struggle with as well is keeping our feet warm on a night. So we were actually invested in some extremely thick, fluffy socks. So they're fluffy on one side and then nice and thick on the outside. So these were lovely. We both have a set of these and we love them. Another really, really good thing that we love as well is our hoodies. So they are extremely oversized, extremely thick and extremely warm hoodies. So these ones were just from Primark. They weren't overly expensive. They were under 20 quid each. And as you've seen over the year, we absolutely love these.
It's recommended when the temperature goes below 8 degrees that you use fridge freezer vent covers. These help keep the heat in and makes the whole process a lot more efficient. So we're just going to show you how easy it is just to put these in. There are 2 vents, you can cover both. So we're just going to do the bottom one for now. Take the vent off. strap onto the back, put it back on, done. If you don't have these, or you've got one missing, we have found them on Amazon. There's a link below. It's an important time as well to make sure that the engine compartment is all running as well as it can be, particularly the water. You don't want that freezing up, so make sure you've got antifreeze in the water tank. Make sure that you've checked your oil, which you should do anyway, power steering fluid, and of course the brake fluid as well. Just make sure that all those are all topped up over winter. Particularly, you don't want to get caught out somewhere in the wilds in the snow and find that you're low on these things. So make sure you do that before you go on a long trip. So your lithium battery will work right down to about -20 degrees, but it's very inefficient and it certainly won't charge below 0 degrees. If you've got a Victron controller, it will shut the battery off at 5 degrees by default. So you need to keep them fairly warm. If you've got a vent or a cover or they're in a cupboard, try and leave it open when it's really, really cold so that warm air can circulate around the van and around your batteries. Failing that, try covering them with some blankets or something soft. Don't use anything metallic, don't use foil or anything like that, otherwise you'll short them out.
We might not like to admit it, but there is going to be moisture in our van. It doesn't mean you have a damp van, it just means there is actual natural moisture in your van. You're going to have moisture whether you're sleeping in it, whether you're just cooking, or whether it's been a hot day outside and you've got condensation. You're going to have moisture in your van. Adding some moisture traps is the cheap, nice way of keeping everything nice and dry, whether it be your food or your clothes. So for the sake of a couple of quid, I would definitely recommend getting them. So we actually got ours off Amazon. So they had, I think it was a pack of 10 for under a tenner, cheaper than £1 each, because we usually paid £1. So we just get them delivered off Amazon every couple of weeks when we need them. So yeah, so we'll make sure we've linked everything below, so check out below for the link for the moisture traps.
You also need to go around the van and just check all the seals, make sure that the rubber hasn't perished or you've got gaps or they're worn. We found that we've got a few. So particularly the door, we found that when it's windy we do get a bit of breeze coming in. So all I've done is put some draft excluder around the gaps that we've found, and then some little pieces where the bigger gaps are. It's really, really cheap and it's very, very efficient at just keeping that coolness and the wind out.
Another wee tip as well is put a curtain over the door. Now we didn't want to add any fittings, so we actually found a couple of these rails that you just twist and they just lock into place, and it held the curtain, which stops any extra breezes coming in through the door, and also just another extra installation point that keeps the van warm. The wrap for the front of the van, there is a couple of companies out there that make specialised ones. You can get them off Amazon, eBay and things like that, but it is the wraps that go across the front of your van, so they cover your windscreen and your side panels. And then we got an extension, didn't we, for ours?
Yeah, which covers the front grille as well, because you don't realise how much air's coming through there as well.
I quite like it because it actually goes over your doors, doesn't it?
Yep.
So it comes on the inside of your van, but it means you're adding a layer going across your windows, across all the little vents and compartments.
Yes, because the glass in the front windscreen is rather large and it doesn't hold any heat. It's not double glazed, so therefore it's just as cold as what it is outside. So you've got to try and keep that lagged. So there's two ways of doing it, isn't it? There's the exterior one that we've got,
yep,
which is quite thick and it goes over the outside. And then there's the interior ones which people buy as well, which you just put up at your windows, which tend to be like a foil, isn't it?
I think they foiled on the outside as a reflective material, yep, to bounce the sun off, and then I think they were a little bit padded as well to, yep, keep the heat in. Definitely worth a look if you're investing in keeping your van
yep,
warm
absolutely.
over winter. So that is us for today, I think. I want a coffee.
Yeah, coffee time, and have another look at the weather forecast because it's not looking good.
No, so get yourselves wrapped up, get yourself a nice hot chocolate, and we will catch you in the next video.
Yeah, if you've got any hints and tips that we've missed, or something that you do in particular over winter time, please let us know, because we're not the font of all knowledge on these things. We're learning as we go along.
We learn something new every day.
If you don't, it's not worth living.
Exactly. We will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.